today we're gonna talk about all of the Slavic languages. So, if you're interested in learning one or five of Slavic languages, keep watching this video. So, let's start with the most popular Slavic languages. But before that, let's make sure to organize all of the languages into groups. So, usually you can organize Slavic languages in three groups. First of them is West Slavic languages, which is included Polish, Czech, and Slovak. The second group would be East Slavic, which is included Russian, Belarusian, and Ukrainian. And the last group would be East Slavic, which would be included Serbian, Macedonian, Bulgarian, and Croatian. Okay, now let's talk about East Slavic languages. So, unlike what most of the people would think, Russian, Belarusian, and Ukrainian are completely different from each other. The fact that they're in the same group, it makes them similar to, but they're not similar enough to be considered as the same language. So, each of these languages are completely different from each other. So, let's start with Russian, because probably Russian is the most popular language in Slavic groups. Well, Russian is widely spoken in parts of Asia and Europe, and well, not only in Russia, but you will find some people who speak Russian in many ex-Soviet Union countries. Of course, it's important to know. Of course, it's important to remember not all of the people from ex-Soviet Union speak Russian, but you will also find people who speak Russian as their first or even second language. Also, Russian is the only Slavic language in the list of United Nations languages, which there included 6 languages. Okay, now let's talk about Ukrainian. Well, Ukrainian is spoken by over 40 million people, and of course it's the native and official language of Ukraine, and many people would assume that Ukrainian and Russian are really similar and they are the same language, but that's because they see the alphabet, they see the sounds, but they don't recognize it, so they think they're the same language. But if you speak one of these languages, you would know that these two languages are completely different. So the grammar, unlike Russian, has 7 cases. Well, of course, you would find only about 60% similarities between Ukrainian and Russian, which is a decent number, but of course it means you won't understand other 40% of the language. Okay, so now let's talk about Belarusian. Well, I think personally that Belarusian is the most underrated language in this group. I know that might sound strange, but actually Ukrainian and Belarusian are more similar than, like, I don't know, Belarusian and Russian, or like Ukrainian and Russian. And this language is spoken by approximately 10 million people, and this language has softer sounds, more complex verb conjugations, and they also have really more elements from Old East Slavic that they are still used in their language. Okay, let's move on to talk about West Slavic languages. So these languages have many words with that they are similar, and they have roots from German, French, Italian, and even Latin origins, which, because these countries are mostly located in neighbor countries with those other languages. So let's start with Polish. Polish is the official language of Poland, spoken by over 50 million people, and Polish is actually a really unique language. They use a Latin alphabet, and they have a rich system of grammatical links and cases and so many good features. Polish has a rich grammar, as I said, but if you're going to talk about vocabulary, there are words that they are came from Latin, German, and of course other Slavic languages, which they would reflect Poland's historical site. Okay, now let's talk about Czech. Czech, of course, the official language of Czech Republic. It is spoken by over 10 million people. Usually, Czech is known for its difficult grammar and verb conjugations. Czech also have a really rich vocabulary, and it's a pretty unique language if you look at it closely. Unfortunately, there are not so many resources to learn Czech, but it's such a beautiful language. Now we have Slovak, the official language of Slovakia, which is spoken by around 5 million people. Actually, it shares similarities with Czech, but they're pretty different in some sides. So, Slovak grammar includes 4 grammatical cases, which is less than other Slavic languages, and its vocabulary has words from Hungarian and German, and of course other Slavic languages, which makes Slovak really unique. But also, I think Slovak is pretty underrated as well. Let's talk about the last group, which is South Slavic languages. Well, in the start, I would love to start with Serbian. Serbian is the official language of Serbia and one of the official languages of Bosnia. And it's spoken by over 12 million people. Well, the cool thing about Serbian is that they use both Cyrillic and Latin alphabet at the same time. So if you're starting learning that, you can just start with Latin alphabet for a while and then learn the Cyrillic alphabet, or like if you're already similar with Cyrillic, you can use that. They use both. And the grammar also has 7 cases. Vocabulary has taken part from German, Turkish, and Latin, and of course other Slavic languages. So let's talk about Croatian. It is spoken by 4.5 million native speakers in Croatia. Additionally, Croatian is also spoken in some communities in other countries, mostly in Bosnia, Serbia, and Albania sometimes. Overall, it's a language with a really strong cultural significance and many numbers of speakers in southeastern Europe. So we have 2 languages left, and these 2 languages are the only languages, the only Slavic languages that they don't have cases. Let's start with Macedonian, which is the official language of North Macedonia, country located in Southeast Europe. It is spoken by 2 million people as their native language. It's also spoken by Macedonian communities in other countries, in like Bulgaria, Greece, and Albania. So the language uses Cyrillic alphabet, but they also have their unique alphabet, which is included 31 letters. Macedonian is known for its rich tradition and culture and history in Balkan region. Okay, our last language in this video is Bulgarian. Well, Bulgarian is the official language of Bulgaria, of course, which is spoken by approximately 8 million people. Bulgarian uses Cyrillic alphabet as well because of the location of Bulgaria and its neighbor countries like Greece, Turkey, North Macedonia, and Romania. They have so many long words and words that has been taken from all of those languages, and it makes Bulgarian such a cool language actually. Also, there is a cool thing about Bulgarian. Okay, guys, I try to explain each language as short and as useful as I can. But if you have any questions or anything you want to ask, you can ask it in the comments. I would love to answer them. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Melissa, and if you enjoyed this video, I would be appreciated if you like it. And until the next video, bye.